Hi, Skap Attack fans. How you guys doing? I saw a lot of your comments in my comment section, and I was gonna respond to them, and then I realized I have a job, something that a lot of you probably don't have, so I wasn't able to really do that. I don't get into the nitty gritty of comment sections because a lot of the times you guys don't like to fight with logic. It's mostly insults. But I decided today, why don't I pick my top 5 favorite comments and respond to them? So we're gonna do that. So why not start off with a hot one? A lot of the criticism that LeBron seems to get is because, well, he calls himself the best. If you're going to call yourself the best, that is why you're going to be criticized. No other player's ever done that. Or have they? So this commenter, Thor6967, said, none of those players you listed are calling themselves the GOAT. Interesting to say that. The reason I find that interesting is because if you took like 5 seconds to look up any of this, you would realize that's not true. Even your favorite players have. I'll give you 3 examples. Steph Curry had this to say when speaking on him being the best point guard ever. Roll it.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes. I have to, yes. It's me and Magic. That's the conversation.
Yeah. Like it just.
That's right, Skap Attack fans. We're using something that brings fear to your heart. Facts. Ooh. So yeah, not only that, Curry said that. We also have Jordan himself, your favorite guy. He called himself the GOAT. Yes, he did. Back in 2019, there was a challenge that went online where you had to label yourself as a single emoji, and how would you do so to describe yourself? And he went ahead and used the GOAT emoji. Interesting. And then your second favorite guy that you guys love to bring up, Kobe Bean Bryant. Love the guy, rest in peace. He went ahead and had to rate himself 1 to 3 as far as him, Jordan, LeBron. Where is he ranking them? He ranked himself 1. He ranked LeBron 3rd, and he ranked Jordan 2nd. So both of your guys that you love to bring up that were so humble called themselves the GOAT. Other players have done it consistently, and it's happened time and time again. You guys just like to nitpick when LeBron called himself the GOAT on his talk show, The Shop, and you want to sit there and act like that's the reason you're pulling all this hate out your bag, when you know damn well you just hate the man, and you're looking for any excuse, anything to kind of just grab onto to make sense in your mind. But hey, go ahead, go off, keep saying that as an excuse, and let's move on to the next comment. First, 2003, it all started with the Rookie of the Year, Carmelo Anthony got robbed. I'm not really understanding why you feel that way. If we go ahead and look at the numbers, he averaged more assists, he averaged more rebounds, and he led the Cavs to 18 more wins than they had prior. So saying that Carmelo Anthony got robbed simply because LeBron, I guess, had 20.9 points to Carmelo's 21.0 is a bit weird considering that fact right there. Now let's look at your next statement. 3 out of 4 MVPs got gifted. Also, Wade 2 times, and KD were the better players while Braun was negative. Okay, so 3 out of the 4 MVPs were gifted. Can you point to me what MVPs were gifted real quick? Help me out. Help me help you, because I'm just curious, okay? Because here are the numbers, but besides numbers, let's go ahead and talk about these in length. In 2009, when he got that MVP award, the Cavs were 66-16, and LeBron led in PER, win shares, and BPM. In 2010, the Cavs were 61-21, and he led the league in efficiency. They led the league in defense and offense as a team. In 2012, the Heat, when he got that MVP, he went ahead and shot 53% from the field and elite defensively. We'll get to that in a moment. And then in 2013, near unanimous, he shot 56% from the field and 40% from 3. I'm curious on what MVPs were gifted to him. If anything, he probably should have gotten a couple more. Now, your next statement was he never won Defensive Player of the Year or made first team all defense at all. Hey, buddy, I know this is kind of crazy, but you do understand you can do something called Google fact check, basketball reference, amazing page. If you just go to basketball reference, they show you all first and second team defense in the NBA and ABA. They go that far back. It's basketball reference. And as you guys can see, LeBron was not only first team all defense, he was first team all defense 5 times. And not only that, the year that he was supposed to win DPOY and Marc Gasol got it over him, Marc Gasol was second team all defense. So that one's just a lie and untrue. Now, if you want to say that you didn't win a DPOY, fair enough, but can you explain to me why a second team all defensive player won DPOY over a first team all defensive player? That's kind of weird to me. But moving on. Now, your last piece of your comments saying that LeBron never built a dynasty. LeBron was never that good anyway. LeBron was always carried and blamed others. I'm sorry. When LeBron made it to the finals in 2007 by scoring the last 30 or 29 points, my bad, of the last 30 for his team to beat a Detroit Piston team that was favored. What was that? Him being carried? When he had the second best player being on his team, Larry Hughes, who was injured for half the goddamn series. What was that? Him being carried? Another question that I have for you guys. The only player ever to get an NBA championship on 3 separate franchises. What is that? Him being carried? Bringing a championship for Cleveland, probably the only one they're going to see in a while with the things going on with the Pacers right now, but I digress. First championship Cleveland's seen in the last 50 years, what was that? Him being carried? Going to 8 straight finals on 2 different teams. 2 different teams. What was that? Him being carried? I asked you all these questions because it's kind of weird how this guy is able to do so much, but he's always being carried. How is it that he's always being carried? LeBron may have not stayed on one team for his entire career and built an entire dynasty strictly with one team. But LeBron is a dynasty nonetheless. Let's move to the next comment. This next comment, Skap isn't a Laker fan. He's a Kobe fan. There is a difference. This was in regards to me calling out Skap because he talks so much shit about the Lakers consistently and constantly. And I said it's kind of weird as a Laker fan for you to be so vengeful towards the Lakers when you want them to win. Why do you hate them so much? And someone brought this up. I got a question. Do you think Kobe would like what Skap's doing? Do you think Kobe would ever have a sit down with Skap? Rest his soul? I don't want to speak for the man, but he did have LeBron in high regards. We go back and he did have LeBron 3. Even though he had Jordan 2nd, he still had LeBron 3. Okay? We go back to LeBron speaking on Kobe. They did have a relationship. So I'm just curious if you guys think that Kobe would respect anything that Skap Attack is doing or respect any way that Skap Attack speaks on LeBron. Don't want to speak for him, but I know from videos, I've known for interviews, the way that Kobe speaks on LeBron, and I know how LeBron speaks on Kobe, that they probably would not fuck with Skap. I know LeBron wouldn't, but I feel like Kobe wouldn't either. And if he isn't a Laker fan, Kobe definitely is a Laker fan. So just knowing that information, I know he 100% wouldn't fuck with this type of vitriolic hatred towards someone that's on a team that Kobe endorsed. But I could be wrong. Now the next comments. Clout chasing LeBum rider, Skap always speaks facts. Interesting. I didn't know when you just call someone trash over and over and over and over and over again. That's a fact. That's like me saying pizza is trash. Sounds like an opinion to me. I think you guys are kind of conflating the two, but I digress. Let me ask you guys a question. Out of 209 videos I've made, 7 of them have been about Skap. Because that's why you're calling me a clout chaser, right? Because 7 of my videos are about Skap out of 209. So 3% of my content is about Skap. If we go to Skap Attack's page, I went ahead and did this for you so you guys don't have to. Not only is his second, third, fourth, and fifth video that he's ever made about LeBron James, out of his 461 videos, 201 of them are about LeBron James. 201 videos are about LeBron James, with 43% of them being about LeBron. Well, 43.6. We could round up to 44, but I don't. I'd rather round down because I know that Skap Attack fans hate facts, and if you display them to them, they will try to, nitpick them. But yeah, 43.6% of his videos, his content, is about LeBron James. With him dropping a LeBron video not even a couple days ago, when LeBron hasn't been in the playoffs since the first round. So if anyone is a clout-chasing person that feeds off of chasing clout, it's probably the guy where almost half of his content is about one person, where if you go to the man's bio and you read it, what does it say, guys? It says, I write essays, arguments, fact checks, parodies, and shit talk on historic and popular trends and sports topics. Interesting. If you're making 201 videos on LeBron James and you say you talk everything sports, it makes me feel like that is your main moneymaker. I mean, it was the second video you've ever made was about LeBron. But hey, that's just something interesting that I wanted to point out. And now we got this last comment. Don't hate on Skap because LeBron just isn't the guy. First of all, don't hate on Skap is kind of crazy when Skap's entire comments and videos features thumbnails like this one. But don't hate on this guy. Don't hate on this guy, this poor guy. He's not doing anything. All he's doing is giving good commentary with thumbnails like this one. Thumbnails like this one. Oh yeah, thumbnails like this one. I could keep going, but it's okay. Don't hate on this guy, please. Please leave him alone. But I digress. Let's focus on your comments, huh? Let's get back to what you were saying. What were you saying? Let's pull you back up. You were saying don't hate on him because if LeBron stayed that LeBron that scored his last 25 plus points against the Pistons when he was first in Cleveland. First of all, 29. Get it right. You knew it was 29. If you knew who he scored them against, you knew how much it was. So let's not play games. But then he went the easy route. He teamed up for rings. I hate this argument because we act like Charles Barkley was always in a Sixers jersey. We act like Shaquille O'Neal didn't quite literally admit to team hopping so he can get himself another ring. And we act like Kevin Durant doesn't exist. Kyrie doesn't exist. James Harden doesn't exist. Hell, Kawhi Leonard doesn't exist. I'm sorry. How many players, great players, have went from team to team to team, and you guys don't have shit for? But when it comes to LeBron, he does it, and all of a sudden, he's the worst guy ever. Hell, the team that was formed to beat him, that Boston team, was quite literally made to beat a young 20-year-old LeBron fucking James. But no smoke for them. They're seen as one of the greatest. So this whole team hopping narrative is annoying to me and will never take it seriously because you guys do not have the same smoke for other players. He doesn't make the right play. He bricks threes off the side of the backboard. Oh my God. Quite literally talking about that Wolves game where LeBron dropped 38, and then he bricked a three off the side of the backboard when the rest of his team couldn't score for shit. But hey, let's focus on the guy who had almost 50% of his goddamn team's points on efficient shooting. Yeah, let's focus on LeBron because he bricked that 1-3 though. That 1-3 he bricked. He airballs free throws. I'm sorry, Giannis. I'm sorry, Shaq. There's a lot of players that airballed free throws. To say that he does it consistently is kind of crazy. He's not the best free throw shooter, no. But at the same time, there's many players that have airballed free throws. We can go ahead and look up lowlights of everybody. Speaking on a player's lowlights is not going to say you know basketball knowledge. It's going to say that you hate the player and try to find anything wrong with him that you can. And then your last piece, Steph Curry should be the one talked about, not LeBron. Steph Curry should never be the one talked about. I made a whole essay on this, and you can go and watch the video. I doubt that you guys will because, again, Skap Attack fans hate facts. But one thing about Steph is he can't guard for shit. He can't guard for shit. In the video essay that I made, and I talked about this, Steve Kerr has literally pulled him out of defensive sets because he can't guard for shit. All right? Let me reframe. He's decent defensively. But when it came down to like the fourth quarter and last second plays in defensive sets, he pulls Curry out and then puts him right back in for an offensive set. I'm sorry, but if that ever happened to LeBron, where it's like, thanks for shooting the three, Bron. Thanks for putting us back in the game. Please come sit on the bench, though. We need to get a stop. You guys would blow your lids if you ever heard LeBron's name in a GOAT conversation. Why do you think that even Curry will say he's the GOAT point guard, but you're never going to hear him say he's the GOAT player, even as good as he may think he is? Because he's not. You can't be offensively the greatest, defensively weak, and expect yourself to be in that conversation. That's why Luka, as amazing as he is and his potential can be, and his ceiling is high, and the amount of championships he could win, he's never going to be considered in a GOAT conversation unless he fixes his defense, which is something I think he can work on. But Curry has been the same defender for years, and he is small, so some of it has to do with that. Not necessarily his fault, but I'm not hating on Curry. It's the fact that comments like this prove to me that you guys just don't understand basketball. There's no way you can look at a point guard that is strictly offensively minded. It cannot get you a stop, so much to the fact that the coach has to take him out of defensive sets, which happened in the playoffs against Houston, it happened in the play-in against Memphis, and has happened throughout the year, that there was literally an article written about it, that maybe he shouldn't be in the GOAT conversation. But the fact that you guys think he should shows me that you don't really watch basketball. You just act like you do. The last point I want to bring up to you guys, and I think this is a very good point to kind of address here. At what point are you guys going to say, we just don't like LeBron and we hate him? I'm serious. How can you watch a guy that posts 50% of his, 43.6% of his content about LeBron James, 2 to 3 videos a week, even when LeBron's not even in the playoffs, with thumbnails like this one, and sit there and turn to me and say, I don't hate LeBron, I'm just speaking facts? Entire identities online, and he's not the only channel. There's another channel by the name of Uncut Hoops that does the same exact thing with thumbnails like this. And you guys will swear this is basketball dialogue. This is basketball dialogue. He's just speaking facts, and you guys don't like to hear the facts, and you cry and you moan, and you guys are the true haters. Curious, can you guys tell me which person is speaking facts here? I'm going to go ahead and play you 2 clips. One is going to be criticism of LeBron James, and one is going to be criticism of Michael Jordan. And I am so curious on which one you guys point out to be hate and which one you guys point out to be fair.
LeBron James, who is unequivocally the GOAT of laughable and absurd excuses, is at it again, nursing a fake knee injury. And wouldn't you know it, the flop king went so hard into flop mode, he and his camp are claiming that he sprained his MCL in the Lakers' Game 5 loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Michael Jordan got it was flying around Twitter yesterday, a trophy this big, about the size of the Larry O'Brien trophy, for getting to 30,000 points. When he got there, Karl Malone was already there, Wilt was already there, Kareem was already there. A stop the game, take the trophy moment for 30,000.
So please help me out. We got Nick Wright, a commentator who was criticizing Michael Jordan, Nah, I wouldn't even say criticizing Michael Jordan, but more criticism to the NBA in general, because he received a large trophy once he hit the 30,000 point mark. But it was not even stoppage, really, for LeBron James reaching 40,000 points. And then you had Skap Attack talking about LeBron James' injury that he received against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm sorry. Are you really going to say that both of these sides are hating? On one side, I have a clear and concise argument on why it's a little bit ridiculous that we sit here and cry and moan when a player who's never hit 40,000 points before probably should have a stoppage of a game at the very least to celebrate a moment like that, while a player who hit 30,000 points received a giant trophy and a stoppage, and the ridiculous standard held between the two. And I think it's a fair argument to bring up and talk about. And then we have a guy on the other side throwing name after name at LeBron James and saying that, oh, it's another made-up injury. At some point, you guys have to admit you're not playing the same game. You will look at what I just showed you, because if you're listening to me talk right now, I promise you, you looked at those two clips and you probably thought they were the same thing, even though one person was throwing insult after insult and even said the man is faking his injury, and the other person didn't even insult Jordan. He just said he found it a bit ridiculous that they're going to stop the game and give him a trophy, but we're not even going to stop the game and give a trophy to the guy who is the only player to ever hit 40,000. This is why I say you guys hate LeBron. Because if you look at those two clips and you feel they're the same, I can't help you. And I don't think I can continue to help you, because you hate LeBron, but you refuse to admit it. If it quacks like a duck, if it waddles like a duck, then it's a duck. And you guys are a whole lot of angry ducks. So, I'm hoping this video was not too long. I think I got my points out the way. I wrote down my numbers. I wrote down my little notes. I went ahead and said what I needed to say, huh? I said everything I got on my chest. And we'll see what the Skap Attack fans really have to say in rebuttals to that. Probably nothing. At the end of the day, I'd love to debate one of you guys. I'd have no problem having a debate on anything you guys want to talk about. But if you don't like LeBron, that's fine. If you hate on LeBron, go off. But to act like your points are knowledgeable or make any type of sense whatsoever, they just don't. But until next time, friends, I hope you guys like the content. If you like the shit I make, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you want me to react to. I know this wasn't a reaction video. I mean, it kind of was. It was me reacting to comments. I might make another video like this again, depending on what Skap Attack fans say. But in the future, just so you guys know, I'm never getting into comment wars with you. It goes nowhere. And I'm never going to respond to all the comments. Trust me, this is not every comment. I just chose the top 5 that I felt were good. There was a lot of stupid comments in there. And I'm not going to respond to all of them. Just not going to happen. I will heart comments that I feel need to be hearted. But I'm not going to respond to a bunch of hater comments. It's just never going to happen because it goes nowhere. But maybe, if you're lucky, maybe I pull your comment to call it out, fact check it, and make you feel stupid for a day. Maybe. But until next time, friends, stay safe, stay smart, use your brain. Peace out. I love you.